Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to these Royal Rumble 2024 predictions. We've got so much to go through. We need to get into it straight away. Let's start with Logan Paul defending against Kevin Owens. This, of course, for the United States Championship. And I think that Logan is going to retain. Now, the reason why I think this is because I think he will lose this title to LA Knight at WrestleMania. Kind of felt good about that for quite a while now, and my mind has not changed. So how does Logan get past Kevin Owens? I certainly don't think it's going to be clean. So that's why I think these two might make their presence felt, because these two have kind of been around Kevin Owens for a while now. You might remember he knocked them both out backstage a few weeks ago. And as we said, they've kind of been around ever since. So I think they'll make their presence felt. I think they'll help Logan retain. Next, we've got this match for the undisputed WWE Championship. Roman defending that title in a fatal four-way against AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and LA Knight. The winner here, I think, is going to be Roman. I think Roman retains. And the reason why I think that is because I think LA Knight goes on to face Logan at WrestleMania. And I did wonder if maybe AJ Styles and Randy could be on a collision course. Maybe they get in each other's way. Maybe AJ stops Randy winning. Perhaps Randy stops AJ winning. You know what it's like. These people, they don't want, obviously, the other person to win, so they will fight amongst themselves, and that could be to Roman's advantage. Add in the bloodline outside interference, which is sure to happen, and I feel pretty good that Roman will retain. But I do think once he does, there is a good chance that The Rock makes his presence felt. Now, this feels a bit of an outside shout, but Roman is not expected to be at Elimination Chamber. They clearly teased Roman versus The Rock. So if we're not going to get it at Elimination Chamber, then chances are we are going to get it at WrestleMania. And also, if Roman's not at Elimination Chamber, that would probably suggest that The Rock won't be there either. So if he wants to confront Roman, get face-to-face with Roman, get in the ring and get people talking, this would be the show to do it on. So I think there is a good chance that we do see the great one, The Rock, coming out after the match to confront Roman, who just managed to retain. Let's talk, shall we, about the Royal Rumble matches. There aren't any other undercard matches. So the way that I've done this is I've got 3 people that I think could be surprises, 3 people that I think are maybes, and 3 people that I don't think will be in. So we're going to do that for the men's and we're going to do that for the women's. And then afterwards, we'll talk about who I think is going to win both of those matches. So the first person that I think could be, and I think stands a good chance of being in the men's Rumble, is Brock Lesnar. There are big reports that Brock Lesnar is on his way back soon, and of course he would be. It's WrestleMania season, and I quite fancy Brock being involved here. I also think there's maybe a chance Gunther eliminates Brock, because right now, Brock Gunther is a match I'm very interested in seeing at WrestleMania. I think we could be heading that way. So Brock Gunther, let's see if there's going to be any interaction between them two during the Rumble. Next person I think we get is Sheamus. Obviously, Sheamus has been away for a while. Brawling Brutes are no more. So, again, WrestleMania season, it would make sense to bring Sheamus back here in the Rumble. Haven't seen any reports as to whether he's due back soon or not, but I don't believe he's been away with an injury or anything, so I don't think there's any reason why he can't return here. And so I think this would make a lot of sense. Next person, Andrade. So he has apparently left AEW. There are, I think, confirmation that he re-signed with WWE. Obviously, we've not seen him yet. WWE have not made any statements on this, but I'm pretty sure I've seen in the dirt sheets that he is going back, and that would make a lot of sense. Obviously, he is in a relationship with Charlotte. It didn't work out in AEW. I think Triple H would welcome Andrade back, so I think this makes a lot of sense. I'm feeling pretty good for Andrade to return in the Rumble. This is a maybe, and maybe it's just me hoping, but I would absolutely love to see Big E in the Royal Rumble. Now, obviously, he suffered a horrific injury going back nearly 2 years ago now, and Big E has done interviews saying that he really cares about his quality of life. He doesn't know whether like he should be risking it coming back. You know, he's fortunate in that he is able to walk and still alive. You know, I mean, honestly, it could have been absolutely horrific. So this is a tricky one because clearly he doesn't want to take any risks, and you can totally understand that, but equally you know that he misses it. And I think the thing that's great about the Rumble is you can come down, you can spend 5 minutes in the Rumble and then end up getting eliminated, and you can get eliminated quite softly. You know, you can find your way going over the top rope, being on the edge of the ring, taking a little knock and being eliminated. There are ways of eliminating someone quite softly. So I kind of feel like we're not putting him at too much risk here. Certainly not the same as taking big moves, something he wouldn't need to do during a Royal Rumble. This is really just a glorified entrance. As long as he can just kind of jump off the edge of the ring and get eliminated, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that we can find a way of getting this one done. Next one that I think's a maybe is Carmelo Hayes. I wanted to include someone from NXT, and we've seen a lot of Carmelo Hayes. He was in the United States tournament. He was also backstage just the other day on SmackDown. So I do think Carmelo Hayes stands a good chance of being the representative for NXT. I know it's not the most exciting name in the world, but I did want to include someone from NXT, and we've done that with the women's as well. And then the other one, which I'm going to put as a maybe, just again, probably out of hope, is Bo Dallas. Could you imagine the reaction if Bo Dallas comes out? I mean, as Bo, as Uncle Howdy, I think it should be Bo. I don't think Uncle Howdy would be the right fit here. I think that people know what's happened with Bo and obviously Bray, and I think they know their brothers, and I think this could be a real emotional moment, to be honest. I think this could be really cool. I don't know that they'll do it. I'm probably not expecting it, but I'm going to put it down as a maybe because it's certainly not impossible. And I think it would be a real nice moment because you know the crowd would want to celebrate Bo and Bray at the same time. I think if we don't do it here, there's a chance we could do something at WrestleMania. I think there's a good chance we could do something. So, as I said, I wouldn't rule it out because I think there's a chance we do something soon to celebrate Bray Wyatt. The nose, then, this is the first of the nose. MJF, I think, is re-signed with AEW. WWE also think he's re-signed. There was reports that did the rounds that they didn't think he was available. We haven't really heard much on this, but as I said, I think he is still with AEW. Then Okada. Now, we don't know where Okada is going to go, but I read a report the other day. He's obviously very close with AEW. He's competed at Forbidden Door. He's formed a great relationship with Bryan Danielson. Obviously, he knows Omega and the Young Bucks. I mean, it just feels like a no-brainer that he's going to go to AEW. I would love for this guy to come to WWE. He is one of the greatest wrestlers of this generation, but I just can't see it happening. I think he goes to AEW. And then the last one, Ryback. I wanted to include Ryback because, amazingly, this was a name that popped into my mind as, could he? Could they bring him back here? But I think WWE have actually been quite vocal, certainly, again, reading a few reports of, trying to get his identity and not allowing him to get the name of Ryback. I think there's been a bit of legal disputes, and that doesn't really bode well for a return. Obviously, I wouldn't expect him to come back permanently or anything. I just think as a moment, he was a big name, you know. He was around that main event scene. He's obviously someone that fans are still aware of because of his online antics, like where he ran a poll asking people if he should retire, and people said yes. So he's got some notoriety, let's put it that way. But this is a no for me. As I said, there's been legal disputes, and I just don't see this one happening. But it was a name that popped into my mind. Another name that came to mind was Rey Mysterio, and honestly, I think there's a good chance he'll be in the Rumble. I don't think that's the most exciting of names, though, because it wasn't long ago that we saw him anyway. Another name that popped into my mind was Shane McMahon, because I can't imagine Shane McMahon is going to want that last appearance to stick in people's minds. You might remember at WrestleMania 39, he did his quad in that match with The Miz. I don't think he's going to want that match being what people think of, so I would imagine he'll return at some point. I'm just kind of hoping it's not here. Then we've got the women's Rumble. Same system again. 3 yeses, 3 maybes, 3 no's, and then we will get to the winners. So I'm going to say that Jade Cargill is in this match. Doesn't matter if she goes to Raw. Doesn't matter if she goes to NXT. Doesn't matter if she goes to SmackDown. There's no reason why she can't come in the Rumble and look amazing. You don't really need much skill to look amazing in a Rumble. You just chuck a load of people over the top rope and you can look dominant. So this is perfect for her. The next one I'm going to say is in the Rumble is your favorite criminal of mine, Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan, I think, will be in the Rumble. I think the plan has been for her to be in the Rumble for a long time, to be honest. I know that she got arrested, but obviously those charges were nothing really too serious. She hasn't been to trial or anything and had a hearing or anything, but again, it's nothing that serious. You know, it'll probably be a fine, a slap on the wrist. Now that the details have come out as to what's actually gone on there, it's not all that bad. So I can't see any reason as to why she won't be in the Rumble, and I'm sure they've got something lined up for her for WrestleMania 40. The other name that I've got as a yes is Naomi. She said goodbye to Impact. I know that she's got a few dates that she's still got to work, but my understanding is they'll be done before the Rumble. They may even be done now. And so, yeah, I fully expect her to come back. Dirt sheets are saying that she is on her way. And of course, it makes sense. Her husband, Jimmy Uso, is in WWE. And so this is one that I would expect. This is a maybe, AJ Lee. I really like AJ Lee, but it's very hard to say that this is a yes. It's also very hard to say this is a no, because AJ Lee is someone that obviously has suffered injury, career-ending injury, career-shortening injury, but again, this is a Rumble. Like, it doesn't take much. You can walk down to the ring, get through the ropes, have a few moments, end up getting put over the top rope and just getting knocked to the outside. Like, you can be very careful with people in a Royal Rumble. You haven't got to be like hurled over the top rope, thrown into the front row or anything like this. We can protect people that need protecting. I think this is a good spot for AJ Lee and a great opportunity for the fans to show her how much they miss her. Another maybe is Tiffany Stratton. I was trying to think of who may represent NXT. I think Tiffany Stratton's probably the pick, although I do think Kiana James stands a good shout, a good chance, and maybe they even go with the women's champion Lyra Valkyria. So all of those I think are in the running, but Tiffany is one that they seem to see a lot of potential in. And the final maybe, and I'm a bit split on this. I don't know whether this should have been included. I'm really torn. I've gone with Carmella, and the reason why I've done that is because she is on the roster. She is a WWE superstar. She obviously had a baby, but I believe that was like the end of November. It's been a couple of months now. Obviously, it takes a while to recover from giving birth. I don't know how long that process is, to be honest. I think it's different for every woman. Again, could she be in this? I don't know that we set anything up, but she is an active WWE superstar. The reason for her absence was the pregnancy. That obviously is done now. And could she come back, even if it's for a one-off here? I've put it as a maybe. The no's, then, Sasha Banks, I just don't think she's coming to WWE. I think she is going to AEW. There's been lots of talk in dirt sheets about her going to AEW. Lots of talk about WWE not kind of meeting her demands. And so it feels like she could come back. She could come to WWE, but the dirt sheets have been quite adamant that she's going to AEW. And I can already hear people saying the dirt sheets were adamant that CM Punk wasn't coming back. And that's very true. That is very true, but I can only tell you what they're saying, and what they seem to be suggesting is that she's going to AEW. Another no is Giulia. Now, I believe she is coming into WWE. This is a very exciting talent from Stardom, but unfortunately, I've read that her contract isn't up until March, so I don't think that she's actually out of Stardom yet. So this could be a girl that I would expect to come in maybe post-WrestleMania. I also think there's a good chance she goes to NXT first. You know, we saw Io go there. We saw Asuka go there. People coming over from Japan, like Shinsuke, like Finn Balor, you know, they tend to go to NXT if they haven't worked in America before. She's made a few appearances over in America, but not permanently. And so I think NXT would be a good place for her to go. So I don't think she is going to be showing up. And the final one is Kamille. I really like Kamille. She is one of the longest reigning NWA women's champions. She is big. She is strong. She is a power lifter. She really is something special. And Nick Aldis used to be in a group with Kamille when they were in NWA at the same time. So that felt like a good indicator. But big rumors doing the rounds just the other day that Kamille was actually backstage at AEW. So feels like she could be on her way over to AEW. So unfortunately, AEW might be depriving us of quite a few surprises that we would like to see. No Okada, no Mercedes or Sasha, no Kamille, but there should still be plenty for us to enjoy. So let's move, shall we, onto who wins. And the winner of the Women's Rumble, I've got as Bayley. I think Bayley is the pick. She has been making her presence felt, her noise heard as to who she's going to go after. You might have seen the other day, she actually wore a Rhea Ripley shirt, had RR on her cheek, and she said she did that because she wanted to send a message that when she wins the Rumble, she's coming for Rhea Ripley. And I think Bayley, who to my knowledge has never won the Rumble and deserves to win the Rumble, I think that she could find herself in a situation that she actually ends up picking EO. Damage Control have not been treating her very well, and I think that will continue. I think we'll come to a breaking point, and I think Bayley, who maybe EO is under the impression is going to go after Rhea, all of a sudden says that she's coming for EO Sky. So I think Bayley is the pick, and I believe she is favorite as well. And for the men, I've gone with CM Punk. It's maybe not the most exciting pick in the world. I just think that we don't know what's happening with Cody. We don't know that we're going to get Cody against Roman. Roman and Rock feels pretty good for WrestleMania. So where does that leave Cody Rhodes? I certainly don't think it leaves him winning the Royal Rumble. I think CM Punk wins and then goes on to face Seth. Now, at the time of recording this, we don't know what's going to happen with Seth. He's either going to be at WrestleMania defending that title, or he's going to have to vacate the belt because of injury. There is even a thought that this Royal Rumble could be for the championship. Even if it is, I'm going to stick with CM Punk. I'm going to stick with this pick. I think there's lots of different ways that you could go if this Rumble is for the championship. But considering I thought Punk was going to win it before the Seth injury, I'm not going to change my mind now. So I believe these two are the favorites with the bookies. I also think that Gunther is going to have a really good showing. Maybe it comes down to CM Punk and Gunther as the final two. I think Cody could find himself getting eliminated by his next feud and maybe even his WrestleMania feud if it's not going to be Roman against Cody. It could be Shinsuke as well, because obviously Shinsuke has been feuding with Cody. Cody getting the better of that, and maybe this would be a way for Shinsuke to just get a little something back. But feels like we could be getting Cody setting up his next feuds with this Royal Rumble. And honestly, I do think Cody finishes the story this year. It just might have to wait until SummerSlam. Let me know your thoughts then down in the comments below. We've covered a fair bit of detail there, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks a lot for watching. Really appreciate the support, and I will see you again for our watch-along. We will be doing the watch-along for the Royal Rumble live during the kickoff show, during the actual event, and we will be live hours before all of that even starts. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe. Come and join us. Come and share your thoughts. It's going to be an unmissable show.